Hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Good. I think we got everybody here, right? Just about. Everybody get something to eat. I know there's breakfast sandwiches back there, some fruit, plenty of beverages over here. All right. My name is Dave Shupman. I appreciate you guys spending the day with us. It's a great investment in time on your part. We've got some great presenters lined up, so really, thank you. My name is Dave Shupman. I'm in key accounts for the Wasmer company, and we're working in some of your plants today. We do a lot of things with energy efficiency. You're going to learn a lot more about us and the things that we do by the end of the day here. First thing that we want to start with, as always, safety is very important to us, and we want to do a quick safety briefing here this morning. First of all, first aid. If anybody needs any minor first aid, there is a first aid kit located right out here at the front desk. And if there's some supplies that she doesn't have, there's a backup kit in the office back there that she can call for. As far as first responders, I need a volunteer in here in case we do have an emergency in here for someone to call 911. I need a volunteer for that. George? Can I get a backup person as well? In case George is the person that gets hurt? God forbid. But... Thank you. Your name is? Steve. Steve's our backup person. As far as the fire routes, there's two areas. One to be through this double door here and go right out the front entrance. There's a semicircle out there. There's a bench on the far right side. We'll just make that our meeting area. If there's that's blocked for whatever reason, we can go out this exit door here or through this back door here. And there's a cafeteria area with some stairs we walk down back here. Follow the path out. There's a big willow tree out back here. We'll make that our meeting area, okay? So that's our quick safety briefing. A lot of people here to help enhance the program today. This is kind of just an order of who's going to present today. I'm not going to go through and introduce everyone that's on here, but I do want to go ahead and go through this packet that you have real quick. There are some speaker bios in there of all the Wasmer employees. There's some very ugly pictures on there with some quick bio about what they do, but also what makes them really passionate about why they're working for the Wasmer company or why they're working with energy and sustainability. It's very important that people understand our culture at Wasmer and really buy into sustainability practices, and that passion's got to come through in everything that we do. So there's a little bit of information on that. There is a piece of paper in there that looks like this. We didn't print everything out today because it would be, 6,000 pages, a piece of paper or something, we figured. So to make most use of some of the sustainability practices, if you just fill out this information and drop it off at this back table at some point today, we'll make sure that you get an email copy of all the presentations that you're going to see here today, okay? There is an agenda in here, and if you'll notice in the agenda, we tried to leave some blocks of time. And this was really at George's urging. We know that you guys are all very busy. You guys got emails and phone calls and things that you got to respond to. But we ask if you're in here, please turn your ringers off your phones. But we did put 2 big blocks of time, some half-hour areas in the morning and the afternoon for you guys to go get a break, stretch your legs, return some phone calls, emails, and then also some time over to lunch. So try to be sensitive to your needs. But otherwise, this is the agenda for today. Outside of that, just some other great information about energy, some what we call white papers on a lot of different areas of the business, audits, daylighting, lighting, compressed air, all kinds of just informational pieces in your packets of information. Okay. So one more thing to get you started off this morning, just get you thinking a little bit about why you're here and what the purpose of it is today. Ardagh talks a lot about, world-class energy management, what it takes to be world-class. And inside your packets, there's one more sheet, and I'd like you to just spend maybe 5 minutes this morning, take a look at this. What does it mean for Ardagh to have world-class energy management? And think about it in a couple different areas. What does it mean for the environment? What does it think about for your company? What does it think about your workforce, the people that are working in a lot of these plants that you guys have? Your customers, and then ultimately you and your family. So maybe put a word or two, a sentence or two by each one of those, and then when you're done with that, rank your priorities. What's most important for you? I'm not going to ask you to turn it in at all, it's something for you to think about, but in a minute or two here, if anyone's bold enough, I might ask for you guys to share a comment or two about what you wrote down and why. So just take a couple minutes on that. Perfect. Can I get a brave volunteer? Anybody want to comment about something they put on their list, whether it was a ranking or maybe a reason that that they're here or working hard towards sustainability? I got a cool blue cup and straw for you if you do.
Ardagh Group, we've got to manage costs. I mean, obviously, the market's going to set the price, but we've got to be as efficient as possible.
Great. Does that have to do with just the byproduct of making more efficient solutions or efficient technologies, or does that overflow into other areas of the company?
It's a mindset. I mean, obviously, everything you're looking at, it's two different things. One of them being I provide a solution. The second thing is you're providing the efficient solution. So it's not just energy. The viewpoint of bringing an efficient, better solution to each problem, I think, is relevant across the board.
Excellent. Somebody else?
For me and my family, it's all I do.
What was that one? Which one do you do? World-class energy management or sustainability?
World-class energy.
To me, it's reusing waste heat to throw away. To me, I think we use too many things one time and dispose plenty longer to reuse will take generate.
Absolutely. And we've talked to some of your people and they say, hey, what does it matter if it gets messed up or not? We'll just melt it down and start it again. That's one-time use, not one that's. Okay. Anybody else? Keep that in front of you throughout the day. Maybe you'll add to it. You'll see this on our business cards. You'll see it on a lot of the information in front of you today. But these are the three areas that we really like to focus: education, engineering, and also economics. Education will be the basis not only for the technical solutions and what the different pieces are out there, but what's the education about what's going on in your plant? What's the culture? What are the behaviors that are happening in your plant? What are the things that you can change? Ultimately, it goes to engineering. We have to engineer products that not only fit your needs, but ultimately the economics. They got to make sense, right? With education comes culture. We work with a lot of companies, and we can put in great technical solutions. And I'm sure you guys have had this experience of putting in just about any type of solution. And you could put it in, you can draw it up on paper, and it could be anything. It could be a new phone system for your company. It could be a new CRM program for the sales department. It could be a new type of machine that goes in someplace. And on paper, everything is supposed to be more efficient. There's supposed to be paybacks and savings for this stuff. But how do you really capture that? You got to have buy-in of the employees. They got to know how to work it. They got to know how to take it the most advantage of it. They have to know how to maximize the use of that piece of equipment or software or tool. And that all goes down to some education and the culture of the people that are working on those things. It really comes down to what we call employee engagement. And we measure employee engagement by how willing or how likely is an employee to go above and beyond the minimum to achieve something. The more you're engaged with a company, the more you're willing to do that. Think about the salesperson that's willing to make calls on a late Friday afternoon or work the weekend, be away from his family. Think about the engineer that is at dinner with his family. He's got to get up and take a call and run out to the plant. How engaged? How long will he continue to do that if he's not engaged in the company and the philosophies of the company? We know that the companies that have very engaged employees, we see higher income levels in those companies. We certainly see them with repeat customers because they're engaged. It comes across in your customer service. It comes across in the quality the different services that you're providing. That's a direct correlation to engaged customers or engaged employees. Safety, it's a direct correlation to safety. When you're engaged in the business, you're happy to be there, you're alert, all those things come with engagement. And ultimately, less likely to leave the company. I'm sure you guys, like every other company out there, is fighting, holding on to your employees. Probably the worse the facility, the worse the working conditions, the harder it is to keep those employees engaged and to keep them working in your facility. So it's something that we all have to concentrate on. The amazing thing is, as much as we know that companies got to have engagement, 79% of companies have issues or they struggle with this. They have worker retention problems. Does anybody know what probably the number one reason people leave a company is? Why would somebody want to leave a company? Yeah.
Workplace.
Workplace environment? What else? What else would someone leave a company? 89% of employers think it's for more money. They'll leave for more money. That's probably maybe something that ultimately makes the decision for somebody, but you're right, it's probably things like work conditions or something, an environment that they're working in. That's what gets them thinking about it. Only 12% actually end up leaving for money. Okay. This one's interesting here because 90% of leaders believe they have to have a strategy around employment engagement that really impacts their business. I don't know what the other 10% are doing. Those guys are probably out of business every year or something, but yeah.
Yeah, and the top three reasons, or the top three things to get employees engaged. Number one is they have a friend at work. You have somebody that you can work together on projects, somebody's got your back, somebody will say, hey, Dave, you might have missed something here. Instead of throwing them under the bus, right? So the number one rule is you got to have a friend at work to have an engaged employee. The second thing is they have to feel valued. They have to think that what they're providing is valued. And the third thing is they're empowered to do the job. They provide enough value that their leaders will let them come into work a little later, things like that. That's they provide more value than they cost. So it's do you have a friend? Are you valued? And are you empowered?
Question, is there any way to measure the level of engagement a company has with their employees? Surveys or how do you know if a company with their employees?
There's tons. So the SHRM organization is the Society of Human Resources Managers. There's plenty of engagement surveys to be able to do that.
There's a lot of online survey tools available now, most of them free of charge. There's a few that I can send you if you like, free charge.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, while 90% of leaders believe that they need to have a strategy, 75% they don't. So it's something that we need to really take out of the hands of HR and some of the other departments. It needs to be a corporate leadership responsibility. And this is something we see more and more, particularly with millennials coming into work into the facilities, that we really got to have core values of the company that align with what their intrinsic or what their natural values are. And one of the big natural values that we see out there just in general in the community as well as in millennials has to do with sustainability. In fact, when a core value of a company aligns around sustainability, almost 100% of people feel more satisfied on their job. They feel like they're making an impact in the environment. 87% of Americans want companies to be more socially responsible. So your customers are looking for companies that are sustainable. It's selling in the marketplace. And then ultimately 76% of workers specifically want their employer to protect the environment. So it's a way that you're engaging your employees, and this is a way that you're retaining employees because they know that they're making an impact on the environment. This was a study we took. Susan McPherson, she created a checklist of items that help indoctrinate or help get people excited about sustainability in companies and help create this culture. You know, the first one there is make it clear from the start. You know, look at your onboarding practices, look at your orientation days. Think about all the things people do in factories, whether it's right or not, but they learned it on their first day or their first week of orientation. If you've got sustainability that's right up there with safety, people learn it. They realize that it's important to the company. Communicate it, you know, just like we communicate safety. You know, safety is job one, or, you know, 265 days of working without an injury, or we post our OSHA reports, those types of things. You know, it's out there, it's prominent, it shows that it's important to us. Highlight progress. People like to know where we've been and where we're going with it. Are the things that we're doing making impact? Competition. If you've got the same line running and you've got different shifts, people like to compete against different shifts. If you've got different departments, different facilities, they like to compete against each other. Who's got the best line? Who's got the best crew? Who's got the best shift? Those are things they like to know. And then ultimately, you know, we reward for sales, we reward for good safety practice. What are we doing about sustainability? Are we rewarding individuals, departments, factories for their sustainability practices? Here's what we know. We know that when sustainability is deep into the culture of a company, you've got better customers, you've got better employees, and you've got a better health in the company. You see increased revenues, you know, job retention as well as creation because you're growing, stocks increasing so the stockholders are happy, and ultimately profits are climbing as well. So my last slide here, leverage the power of sustainability to create your own strong company culture, and that'll be the basis of a lot of what we talked about today. If you don't believe in it, if it's not in the fabric of the company, if it's not in the culture and the people aren't gonna, you know, if they're not walking by going, oh, there's nobody in that room, the lights are on, let's shut them off, or hey, that line's running right now, there's no product on it, I got water going full blast on it, and the conveyor belt's, you know, screaming. Should I shut it down? Should I dial it down? If you don't have that ingrained in people's culture, you know, you can put in the best technology and they'll still have that flaw.